to the Margins Podcast.
Welcome to the Margins.
The show where we break down books we've read, haven't read, and maybe wish we never started. I am Stranton, and I'm joined with my co-host here.
I'm Cristiano, the other half of this podcast. So just to get started, this isn't a show about reviews. It's not a show about reactions. It's really about how stories hit us.
Yeah.
Right? What they shake loose, what they make us remember, what we regret, what we want to do better, right? Or what to do better, I should say.
Yeah, we do have a disclaimer. We're not critics. We are not literary scholars. We're just two guys. You know, two guys reflecting on what we experience while reading and turning that into conversation. I know there's plenty of podcasts out there. I guess we're not the first podcast. I hear
sure?
that there's a couple others.
Are you sure we're not the first?
I'll do a little bit more research, but I've only found a few out there. And you know, as far as books go, there can't be that many about books.
Totally. You can totally read them in a day.
Yeah. You know, it's not like book talk's popping off right now either. But anyway, with that said, we wanted to go ahead and do what we're good at, or what we feel comfortable with. Yeah, our own stamp, which is we're our two good friends that enjoy talking at length about different topics, whether it be about books, movies, TV shows, anime, whatever it may be. We just enjoy each other's company and enjoy breaking the surface. You know, if I had to put it into a few words. The books are the starting point, but the podcast is about the life that comes out of those stories.
Definitely. I think that when this idea first came up, it was really pretty organic. We read through some books, or, you know, we talk about anime or a TV show or something, and then we start breaking it down, getting into like what we thought about it, what we thought could be better, etc. What they did amazing. And I think that this kind of came pretty organic.
Yeah, super organic. We did the whole kind of the vetting of each other through the different media types, because I was newer when Cristiano and I met through work. I knew that I found out that he was big into anime, had been for a long time. I was recently into it, had gotten into it because I had an older and a younger brother that were super into it, and we, as all four brothers, decided, let's do this. This is something that we can constantly talk about because there's always new anime out. So I was running everything, and I was giving you the list.
Yeah,
and then
I remember.
Yeah, and then you were telling me like what to watch, and then we slowly got into other media, and then got to books finally. Yeah. And that's where things like really started popping off, because you give someone a book, or at least you say like, hey, this book means a lot to me, and you pass it. How many times do you actually read that book from that person, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you know the person really well. I have friends that like really close to.
Same.
That years in the past were like, oh, read this book. If it was a self-help book, then I'm usually like, go fuck yourself, you know?
What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say
really
here?
saying here?
Don't give me that book. How dare you?
Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read it.
I was blind and did hand those out, but that's because I thought one size fits all for everyone. But it's not the case, I guess. Not everyone wants to be told, you know, fix yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how, if we had to put into a few words, how this kind of came to be. Yeah. You know. But yeah, who we are.
Yeah. So in this section, just a quick, history on who we are, on page and in our past lives, right? So basically, as I said already, I'm Cristiano. I am 30 plus years old, 34, turning 35 soon here. And I grew up in the 90s where, we were hard on nerds, man. We were hard on nerds. I'm not going to lie. And come to find out, now that I'm older, I wouldn't mind being called a nerd. You know, I think that although I probably don't fit the exact description, I think that the outcome of what you get of being a nerd, I want that in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
At this age, you know what I mean? So that's who I strive to be now. So at my old age, I'm like, hey, I want to sit back and read these books. So I do read a lot in my everyday life. I have a fiance, Naya. She's awesome. She takes care of the kids and she works as well now, which is great. She's
life of the party.
Life of the party. She really is.
Joy to be around.
She really is. So yeah, I have her. I have two beautiful kids, Nuri, my daughter, Najee, my son. So getting the opportunity to, you know, be their dad, be their partner, and just, you know, be with them going through life has been a great joy. And I think that going forward, one thing this time is back to like the literary aspect. I read books to even fantasy self-help books. I'm always trying to figure out like where that fits in my life. How can I handle that situation, but how can I handle things better, you know? And this is a direct correlation to my everyday life where I'm like, every day I'm thinking, what can I do better? You know, it's something I talk to my family about all the time. But yeah, so this might be something that happened from my upbringing, you know, so I was pretty bad. I won't bore you guys with a long story. We'll get into it later on in other episodes, but I was a pretty bad kid. I got expelled out of elementary school, got expelled out of middle school, got expelled out of high school. And ultimately the only thing that had any kind of continuity was that I loved to read. I didn't like going to class. I didn't like math. I didn't like science. I fucking hated history. I didn't like anything. I just liked to chill. I fought a lot.
But did you win?
And I won.
There we go.
I have a fair share of dubs. You feel me?
There we go.
But you fight enough, you're going to lose some. So sorry, guys. Just letting you guys, anyone who really fought a lot knows that if you fight a lot, it's impossible to win them all. Like, not if you fight enough. So, but yeah, as I got older, you get better. So it's great. I'll never forget. I got my ass kicked. I'm going to get into it. I got my ass kicked. I was bullying this kid named Oscar. I'm sorry, Oscar. I remember you because I used to bully you every single day. You're the reason why I got kicked out of LAUSD school bus in elementary. And he told his brother waited for me after school, kicked my ass at the bus stop. I would never forget it. Mind you, his older brother was like 3 or 4 years older than that. So he gave it to me. Yeah, good times. And win some, you lose some. Win some, you lose some. So anyways, I was a dickhead, and I was a dickhead for most of my childhood. And then when I got older, like when I got into college, I realized like, man, I really love reading and writing. Let's get into the books. So I got my shit together in JC, in junior college. I got my high school diploma late. Finished that like around 19. Got kicked out of school. So I finished my high school diploma around 19. Went to JC, got my shit together, had like a 3.8, 3.9. Got into like every school I can, you know, dream of except for 2 that I really wanted to go to. Go figure. Fuck them. And then chose the school that was the furthest, which happened to be in London. So I went to school out of the country, met a bunch of great, amazing friends that live around the world. It's a, you know, point of pride that I can say I can couch surf anywhere because I really can. And yeah, that's the short of it. We'll get into the rest at another time. But yeah, so, and I really do credit reading and writing to be a big part of helping me realize that I can do more. I can be more. I think that what really resonates with me with books is that even when as a young kid was that you get to live different lives through every book that you read. Yeah, so that's a little snippet there.
I love that.
What about you?
As I shared before, Stranton, Iono, born and raised in Southern California, born in San Diego, did a little bit of time there, as you know.
Some hard time.
Elementary.
Did you get your ass kicked?
No, sir. Because I did not fight. And then I did most of grade school through Murrieta Temecula area. Grew up during that time. I was not a big reader. Books were not really a part of my life. I am an actor by trade. I did plays there, but just here and there during that time. That wasn't something that came to fruition until later in my life, which I'll get into later time.
Yeah.
But yeah, books were not a thing. A big part of that was that I was and am dyslexic. Wasn't diagnosed until I was in my 20s. Funny enough, I was diagnosed. I found out later in like middle school. A friend of a friend is friends with someone who was in administration at the time, and the one who ran the test on me again in the 90s or early 2000s, 90s.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, I remember Stranton coming through. He was dyslexic. We just didn't know what to do at the time.
Yeah, just let it go.
You know, just
this kid learn disability.
It out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll grow out of it.
Have him go to the psychiatrist a little bit. He'll tack it on with the speech therapy that he has to go to. He'll be fine.
He'll be good.
So, it's been a big factor in my life. Definitely something that, do I want to go as far as to say trauma? I do, just because it was, I don't know. There was a couple times where someone that I, had a crush on, I had to read in front of, and I know 2 times specifically where they asked me if I had a learning disability.
It just start fucking sweating.
And I'm just like, oh, wow. Yeah. 3rd grade. And then one in my like teenage years where I was asked that. And it was just because like words jumble for me. Like letters move on me. Numbers are, just everything you can imagine about that.
That's tough.
It's a little rough. So as far as like as taking that out of context, or putting it into context, I should say, I started listening more to audiobooks. I'll be the first to say I enjoy a good audiobook. I learn so much quicker, or I absorb it so much better. Through audio.
Yeah, there's not to cut you off, but there's one day we should look it up. Maybe we'll put it in the comments. But and my teacher, my old professor, I keep in contact with, she would know this, but people learn differently. Some people learn visually. Some people learn by listening. So it could just be something as simple as that. Oh,
no, it absolutely is. That is exactly what it is. Because what I explain to a lot of, there's people that say like, oh, when I listen to an audiobook, my mind wanders. When I'm looking at a page, my mind wanders. It's the same thing.
Right.
Just like there's some people that can imagine, and there's still people that I think that listen to audiobooks that can't picture things.
Right.
But there's people that can picture and others that can't in their mind.
Yeah.
I am definitely one that can. I'm very vivid. That has been like, that was the turning point for me once I figured out what was going on. And because it's crazy that I enjoyed film and TV and every aspect of storytelling except for the written word. Like how nuts is that? Like that's where it starts.
That's the beginning.
That's where the idea, where the idea comes from. So there's so many stories, and to this day, if I'm preparing for a role or anything, if I can find a book that has to do with or aligns with what the character is going through, or is the overall like vibe of what the movie is. Yeah, that's one of my starting points. I love jumping in that way. Grew up there. I am married to my beautiful wife, Rachel.
Shout out to Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. She is, as I said, I'm an actor by trade. She's a good person. She is a therapist.
She helps people.
She works with kids. Currently, she actually works as a therapist in a rehab here in Los Angeles. Won't go into specifics because HIPAA. Yeah. But she's a great person who loves working with people and making sure that their lives, progress.
So, shout out to her. It's a quick digression because you brought it up, and I was just talking to Naya about this. None of my friends that have done shit. I told her I would get on. I was like, I'm gonna tear into everyone about this. I have no doctor friends. I have no dentist friends. I have no therapist friends.
Oh, you need your go-tos, yeah.
None of my go-tos chose anything that's fucking helpful. I thought about this the other day because I had like a random pain. Guys, when you get into your 30s, you just
things start falling off.
fucking sit there and all of a sudden get a random pain. You're like, oh, is this it? Is it happening? And so this happened, right? And I was like, afterwards, I was like, Naya, what the fuck? What were you? What was everyone doing with their lives? Don't get me wrong, like me too. I chose a help no one career as well.
You help everyone. Marketing, my guy.
Marketing, PR, But I'm like, what the fuck? Like, anyways.
That is funny.
Yes.
And unfortunately, your friend that is a therapist, you can't see because she's a therapist. And
she's a therapist.
You can't know your patient.
There you go. So it is what it is.
I get it. I do have friends that are like, I do actually have friends that are doctors and friends that are dentists and a friend that, but everyone's too far,
Yeah. So it's like not helpful still.
Yeah. Except for your dentist, Timmy. If you ever listen to this, thank you, my guy. But yeah, that's basically my story with it. And then obviously my beautiful boy Max. I have a little boy. Little boy. Stretching it. He's a 9-month-old baby he's going to be 9 months next week, and he's the size of like a 1.5-year-old. He is a big boy. Big boy.
Yeah.
Super white too. Super white. Those Polynesian genes, the Samoan and Maori side is not showing through too much besides size.
Where it counts.
Yeah, where it counts. Yeah, very, very proud of my heritage. As I said, last name's Iono, Samoan Maori. My dad is from New Zealand. My mom is blonde hair, blue-eyed from California. German, Scottish, Welsh, and English. But yeah, definitely a mutt, but very, very proud of my island heritage. But yeah, that's just a little bit about us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just for my memory's sake, was it your brothers that got you into anime? Or yeah.
It's my older brother and my youngest brother.
Yeah.
So Seth and Spencer, both huge anime heads. My older brother, like long before it had taken closer to like what how you like got into it around that time, where we were all looking at him reading Naruto and we're like, what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
That book is backwards. You think I can't read?
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong. But yeah, he and my youngest brother were super into it, and we were really trying to have a common point where we could continue as it gets older. You get older. It's one thing to stay in contact with your close friends, but even your siblings, it gets tough.
Yeah, it definitely gets tough
because you get a life. Stuff comes up.
Yeah, you build a life, and you build you don't build. I guess actually, you build a family with your friends, your significant others, your kids, and this becomes your new wall that you have to get past to interact with everyone else. Where it used to just be your brothers and your sisters who you see every day, right? So
and then now you're working around not only your schedule, but your family, like your immediate family schedule, and then their immediate family schedule. So there's just a lot of things that can get in the way.
Or we.
Yeah. So we decided to do anime and gaming too. Yeah. But anime was definitely the tipping point for me, my older brother, and then my other brother Sage too, who also, like me, wasn't super into it, but has since become a big fan of it. So
I do. I enjoy it. I think that from like a literary perspective, I'm not gonna say I like it more than a novel, but I do enjoy how episodic it can be. Like reading manga, or even just watching anime. You can get so much out of these bite-sized 12-episode animes, for example. Right?
Yeah.
It's just the same as reading like a 110-page book or something. It's really similar, but you get to have all this action action acted out by really deep characters. Sometimes it doesn't have to be. So a lot of anime is shallow as fuck, but
Yeah.
you know.
early Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Hey.
OG, I know.
OG.
I know.
OG.
You didn't get into Dan, right?
I've read it, so.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I just watched the introduction episode. Well, not the. It's a couple of. It's when she actually gets her powers. But Ira,
Yeah.
bruh, the story behind her.
Did you watch? You watched it?
Watched it.
It's cinematic. It's cinematic.
Beautiful.
It's one of the best episodes of anime ever.
Because all the episodes before that, there was touching parts, but that one was just
not
like
like that.
as anime does.
Yes.
Just a dagger.
Yes.
Out of nowhere.
I'm glad that you got to. Yes,
Oh.
it was beautiful.
Yeah, tears.
Beautiful.
Definitely tears.
Yeah,
And I'm just sitting there.
In the middle of like, to be honest, like Dan can get pretty wacky. You know, it's one of those anime people walk in at the wrong.
The episode
fucking
immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
we were
exactly.
chasing bananas. Anyway, sorry, I digress. So yeah, that's a little bit about us. We're gonna go on tangents.
Yeah.
We're gonna try our best to rein in some of them.
Yeah.
Just so we don't have to cut full episodes or anything like that. But no promises.
All
no
good.
promises.
All good.
Yeah, and then actually currently, as far as I have here noted, as far as the habits we've created, I'm now in a book club. I've been in multiple book clubs since starting my journey with enjoying books more. But my current book club is the Bricked Up Book Club. Shout out to my boys.
Shout out.
We got David, we got Tim, we got Max. But yeah, we meet usually monthly. It's actually as soon as we all four finish the book. So we have a text chain, and we're actually on it typically daily, talking about everything when it comes to books or everything else too. Pretty tight knit, and yeah, we are always on each other. But who's finished? Who's where are we at with this? So we can meet, and then we'll meet on FaceTime. We meet on Facebook video. No, on FaceTime, like a Saturday or Sunday mornings for an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because I'm here in LA. The other two are in Temecula area, and then the other one is in Washington. I'm sweating saying Washington because Tim, I'll be honest, you might be in Oregon. I honestly don't know.
Well, it's north of California.
Shit. It's like, I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to ask. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't know exactly where. And the other two guys, they might not be actually in Temecula. They could be in San Diego, but I'm pretty sure they're Temecula. I'm almost positive.
To be fair, though, Temecula, San Diego.
Same thing. San Diego County.
Pretty close. Washington, Oregon, I mean, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway.
All right. So this next segment, we're going into which kind of what you guys can expect out of the Margins podcast. So our blueprint. So every episode of the Margins is going to be centered around every episode is centered around an episode or whatever. Every episode is centered around a book or a story. So we'll have a main running theme, and then we'll have segments within that episode. And even within those segments, we'll have small tangents that you guys have seen from this, this episode.
Yeah.
So we are going to try to make it as engaging as possible for you guys. Especially like for me, one of the reasons why I really wanted to start this podcast was that there's people who might be on the cusp of reading a book or something, and it's like, I don't know. I would love for them to like listen to an episode of our podcast and like, oh yeah, I want it. I'll check it out.
Be the boop.
Yeah, exactly.
On your way.
So yeah, that's one of the first things I kind of want to go over in terms of what to expect. We will get into a set of questions. All the questions are thought-provoking, and they'll be designed to spark reflection and analysis, right? So from both point of views.
Yeah, that was one of the big things was, as we said before, there's podcasts out there, I guess, that will review it via X amount of stars or 10 out of 10 or whatever it may be. And we thought about doing that. We thought about following that mold, which isn't a broken one. We enjoy it. I have a couple of content creators I will, live and die by. They give great reviews. But we just thought when it came to us, like we said at the top of the episode, we didn't want to give straight up reviews or grades to these books.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be better for us and our experience of going through it, of just having these questions of how it immediately reflects in our lives or how we see it applying to our lives.
Right.
So that's why we wanted to do it. So we're gonna have these questions. We're gonna pull scenes, quotes, characters, talk about them and how they relate to our own lives. Cristiano came up with the great idea in the wordplay between the wines. So every episode we will have a new bottle of wine with us that we will share evenly, and responsibly. And we are gonna look for local wines. So local wineries, we'd love to have your wine here.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to sponsor us.
Please sponsor us.
Already looking for handouts here.
Yeah.
But we're also going to try to find wines that have to do with the book we're
we want to
reading.
pair.
Yeah, we want to pair it nicely. So not just in name, but maybe the accent notes and what, we've had a couple before this when thinking about this. Not in like lost episodes or anything.
Yeah, no such thing.
But they were good.
There are no lost tapes, guys.
They were good. But yeah, that's one of the things. Another thing we're going to try out is fan casting, because that's one of my favorite things to see on whether it be TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever. Just hearing what people see when they're reading these books.
Right.
Specifically who they're seeing.
Right.
Yeah, for the longest time, I think I just imagined people's faces, which we just spoke about. Not everyone can do that. So,
which was it blew my mind, bro. I'm not gonna, and I was, it wasn't that
they could
that far along ago. Yeah, it blew my mind that people, when they read, they didn't see anything. I'm just like, wow, reading must be so taxing. Because for me, it's, you might start by reading a couple words, but by the time you're into the book, it's basically a movie.
Yeah.
So it's.
Which is why plenty of times it's like, I would understand why people say, oh, the book's better than the movie.
Yeah.
Because my mind can beat out what CGI is able to accomplish.
Exactly. And then that added with all the extra information that you get and perspectives is second to none.
I get it. And then actually those thought-provoking questions will be the segment Hard Questions, Real Talk.
And to be fair, with that segment, other than our perspectives, I'm so interested to see like what our listeners' perspectives are on the books that we're reading, how that affected them, like, different characters, plot developments, etc. I think that's another thing that I hope will help us stand apart. Be a little, our little sprinkle of uniqueness is how engaging that we want to make this for everyone.
Leave those same questions in the comments.
Yeah.
Let people share their aspects, their point of views.
Yeah. Almost that. like a we want to be your digital book club, like your podcast book club. So if you have any thoughts, leave it in the comments. Any recommendations, leave it in the comments. We're definitely interested and we will talk about them. So So next segment is, what are we currently consuming? And for both of us, this can be a bit of a daunting question because we're kind of always reading a lot of different things. Right now, I probably have that I'm actively reading 4 books.
Ooh, see, you got me beat right now. I'm not in a rut. It's funny. We're starting this podcast and I had my first, and when I say rut, it had been 3 days without me reading something. And that's the longest I've gone in a long time. And that's not to be holier than thou on that, but
sometimes just a little rest break.
I did need it. Which is crazy because the book that I'm reading is insanely great. It was actually referred to me by someone I know.
Oh, go figure.
On the other microphone. But it's Lies of Locke Lamora.
Awesome.
The Lies of Locke Lamora, which before I thought that was all one word before.
Oh, because I was probably saying it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Lies of Locke
You and everyone else. I think everyone else on TikTok too. But now I understand Locke Lamora is a person. So I am reading that. I'm still under halfway.
Oh, perfect.
I'm
I can
definitely
tell
under
though, because
halfway.
if you were further, I would know.
Yeah.
I promise you, there's parts in the book where you just
Where it's like a catch fire where you're just like, now I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to be a thing. There's other things media wise where it's like a couple TV shows and movies that I wanted to get through before I locked down. But then I also use the Libby app, which I shout out Libby app. I use it with my library card, and Babbel just came on. I'm forgetting RF. I'll give proper respect to the author when I can pull it up. Maybe I'll pull it up right now. But I have that one.
Oh, Babel by I'm gonna fuck up the name.
I'm almost positive it's RF.
Queen.
Yeah, see, it's you know what's confusing us is to be honest is that we love Sword of Kaigen.
Yes.
And that is W.L. Wang.
W.L. Wang, but this other one is RF. It's the same guy who did the Poppy War.
Yeah. RF Quang.
Quang. Yeah, okay, I said his name right, guys. Don't fuck with me, chat. Yeah, I read like 3 or 4 of his books, or her. It's a he or her.
It's a her. That's what I was like.
Sorry, lady. Sorry, lady. But anyways, your books are great. I got through that whole Poppy War series. Wait,
you did?
Or did I? No, I did.
You did. You finished.
Yeah, I almost quit though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like after the 3rd book, man, I was like, do I need to finish? That's actually what I thought.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I do.
That hurts.
What?
She's 28.
Wow. Such an accomplished author.
She deserves all the respect.
Yeah.
I hope you guys didn't cancel us already.
Yeah,
specifically because
I get some stuff wrong. Or,
Cristiano,
it's
that's a pretty strong one.
Don't cancel us because of me. I'll say worse things later.
Oh, great!
I'm sure.
I'm feeling great about this partnership. Anyway,
gotta keep it spicy.
That is what's on deck right now. So currently I'm reading the Lies of Lockamora, and then I have Babel. And then I also have the book club book this month.
What you guys reading?
Here we go. Guys are going to give me shit because I haven't started it.
You haven't even started, guys. See?
No, I haven't because I'm usually the one, and Daryl will make fun of me for this too, but I finish the books a lot quicker than the other guys do because they also read a ton.
Gotcha.
But I consume them pretty quickly. There is, I believe, the spear that cuts the water.
He believes that's what it's called.
I believe that's what it's called.
That's a pretty specific name, side. That's probably what it's called.
I
mean, the spear that cuts the water is quite specific. Is it also by W.L. Wang?
No.
Because it sounds like something that she would write.
Because it's sort of,
Well, guys, I haven't read that yet, but...
the spear that cuts through water. Is that what I said?
Yes.
Yeah, anyway.
Or and that is by... water, but it cuts through water. Same difference.
Yeah, by Simon Jimenez.
Okay.
So that will be the book that follows.
Okay. So, awesome.
Yeah, that's what I've got so far. Animes, like I said, a little bit of Dan right now. Also, Fire Force is back on. I have to catch up on. And then Solo Leveling, obviously finished recently.
Mm-hmm.
Movies. Oh, I just realized we're recording right now. And last night, Rachel and I started the first half of Kingsman, the second movie, Golden Circle. I've seen it before, but we said we were going to finish it tonight, and that's definitely not going to happen. So I apologize.
Sorry, Rachel.
I'm sorry.
What about Severance? Did you guys finish Severance?
Oh, absolutely. And Severance is on for like minutes before, like on the platform, uploaded, and then we're watching it. We can't do like the whole like waiting a while. There's few shows that we have to like be completely disinterested to not watch it the night it comes out.
Gotcha.
We'll be on like a trip or something.
Yeah.
But I usually am following like the actors and too many people I know because of that they are also in the industry or posting about typically shows that I watch as well.
Makes sense.
So I try to
stay up to date. Yeah.
To it.
Otherwise, it's gonna get spoiled.
Yeah, you watched it all already.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Yeah, top tier. I love it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
amazing.
Let's see.
What about you?
So for me, that's what I was trying to think. So I'll start off with anime. Right now, what anime am I watching? So to be fair, like a lot of times I don't really want to wait for the anime, so I'll read the manga. But an anime that I'm watching right now. Damn, I think is it called To Be Heroes?
Oh yeah.
To Be a Hero?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just saw an episode, TikTok of someone. There's a show. There's like another anime that it's like To Be a Hero X.
Yeah.
You have to know what, like, yeah, because they were saying like two of the three guys watched one anime, and the third one on the podcast watched the other one.
Yeah, and the name is super close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. It's cool. I think that it's interesting. I usually don't like. I don't even know what to call that kind of animation, like the kind of Johnny Quest 3D.
Oh yeah.
I usually don't like it, but this one's cool. Like I'm enjoying it.
You said Johnny Quest, and I was thinking Johnny Bravo. I was like 3D. What are you talking about? 3D. I forgot about Johnny Quest.
Yeah. The OG Johnny Quest guys.
Yeah. OG.
That's back in the day where I think Godzilla used to come on after. I don't know if you remember that. The old Godzilla would come out the ocean and shit. Yeah. All right, guys. See, now I'm aging us. But anyway, so that's one anime that I'm watching. So I'll tend to watch like a new one, and then I'll have like old ones that I want to rewatch. So I recently rewatched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for like the 15th time.
So instead of rewatching it all,
Yeah.
I now go onto all the cuts that they have on social media of like the best scenes, or like they do like people
Top
make
fighting
movie
scenes or something.
top fighting scenes, or they just do like cuts of like all the parts that you want to see.
Yeah.
But I literally just watched probably. I spent way too long on that, but it was just scrolling through different Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood videos. I loved it so much.
It's such a complete anime.
Yeah.
I think that, so I'm kind of always shuffling between old and, I'll always go get something new. So there's that. I'm waiting on the new Blue Eyed Samurai season to come out. You put me onto that. I really enjoyed that. Let's see. Obviously, you have like the big ones. I'm waiting on Bleach to come back out. The new, I love Bleach, and everyone has their own reservations about anime, but that's a great one for me. I fell off of Boruto. I don't know if I'll ever get back on, but maybe I'll read it. So I
never got on there.
Yeah, it's a thing. Somehow it gained a following. Let's see who else. Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm a huge fan of. I finished it already. I read it like months ago. Like right when I finished serializing the manga, I finished the whole thing. The one I'm waiting on, I'm sorry guys if I mess it up because it's gonna be really popular. It probably is. The popularity is pretty big now. It's Kagurabachi. That's gonna be a big one. So I'm waiting on them to make that an anime as well, but that's also a manga I've been reading.
Can't remember. Did you read or watch Kaiju number 8?
Both.
Oh, both.
Yeah. So I read it, and when they animated it, the anime was great. So I just rewatched it, and there's only a couple ones that I did. Like so, One Piece. I read One Piece, and I still think that it's better to read One Piece. Like it took me a while for me to get into the anime One Piece. 'Cause I thought it was just so, I don't know, it just wasn't like my thing. But then I was like, let me see if I can read it, and I read it, and I remember being like 3/4 of the way through, so I was like 700, something like this. And I was like, man, this is the greatest pirate story ever told. This is the greatest pirate story ever told, bar none. And you guys are probably thinking, what other fucking pirate stories? Read a book, guys. Lots of fucking pirate stories. But no, it's awesome. I love One Piece. I really do prefer the manga though over the anime. I think that it allows you to get more into like the emotional aspects and the characters and everything much better because you're not focusing so much on the animation part of it. But so that's animes, movies. I haven't been doing my due diligence with movies lately. I kind of fell off. I think the last movie I watched was Interstellar for the 20th time because I'm actually writing an Odyssey, a Space Odyssey right now. So I rewatched that just to kind of give me some inspiration. In terms of, no, I watched a new movie. Oh, that Hulk movie. It was okay. Whatever. What's
Brave New World.
Yeah,
Captain America.
Captain America. I called a fucking Hulk movie, but yeah, because Hulk was the best part about the movie. Yeah. But anyways, it was okay. I didn't like it. I didn't dislike it. It was whatever. Books though, so I have like 4 books that I'm reading right now. Sorry guys, I do gotta reference my phone. So the first one that I'm rereading the Red Rising series. So I am on Golden Sun. Let me see. I might be further than that now. Because this is like my white noise, you know? Like this is my white noise book where I've already went through it once. But I'm not going to lie. It's better the second time. Yeah. I don't know if you've done it. Have you read it more than once?
Yeah.
It's better the second time because you really... You get to
absorb more.
You know what's going on. Yeah. And to be honest, it was actually pretty fucking traumatizing the first time. Actually, so the first time you read through Red Rising series, it's fucking traumatizing. You don't know what the fuck is about to happen.
We'll have an episode on it.
We have to have an episode on it. Very traumatizing. Second time through, it's a much easier read. It's so much fun. Iron Gold.
Oh, yeah,
Iron Gold. Okay. I'm on Iron Gold.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, because Golden Sun, I'm like, damn, that's pretty early.
Yeah.
Iron Gold. So I'm into the second half of the series. So I'm rereading that. I finished the 5th season, which was pretty good. I'm on to the second book of the 5th season. I just started, so I can't really say I'm that deep. I started rereading Dungeon Crawler Carl just because I want something fun to read. Yeah. There's one more. Oh, 4th season. Is that what it's called?
Oh, that's the second book?
Yes. No. I said the 4th season. The 4th wing.
Oh, you're reading
So the 5th season, I finished.
Yeah.
And then I started the second book, and I was like, oh, man, I want to read something more fun. And so I started reading the 4th wing. And I got through, I want to say the whole first. I think I got through the first book right now.
Nice. That has a huge following.
It does? I wonder why. Sorry, I'm like in pop culture, but not in pop culture.
Oh, that wasn't sarcastic.
Yeah. No, I know. I know.
Oh, okay. I was like, no. Man, you got me. You got me.
So yeah, that's what's kind of on my bookshelf that I'm currently actively reading and that I'm just finishing. Coming up, I really want to. Obviously, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do Lightbringer after Iron Gold. I'll do more. I got to go back through the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. There was a book that was recommended by someone that I have to get through, so I'll finish that. And then I actually want to do Babel because I read the complete trilogy of the Poppy War, and so I think I want to do Babel.
Yeah, I've been hearing great things about it.
Yeah,
about what she wrote. It
is a she. You're right. But you know, maybe you know.
You guys, don't go any further. Don't go any further.
Okay, I can't get canceled on our first episode.
Yeah. Please don't.
But yeah, so that's kind of what's on the on my bookshelf. Scripts. I'm writing a script. As you know, one day I'll let you guys in on that. Maybe I'll get some of your feedback so you guys can help me make it better. But I really so I already had gone into like, I don't know, maybe the 10 pages. And I was like, man, I like it, but it's not hitting like how I wanted to hit. Went back, started over, and now I'm really liking the path that it's
dialed
taken.
In.
Yeah, dialed in. So there's that. So hard questions, sample pack.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do here, it's a little bit of a bonus segment. The hard questions, real talk. We like I had explained. Let me bring it back to the mic. What I had originally had in mind was for this intro, we weren't gonna do a book, so we weren't gonna have anything to base on.
Yes.
But I wanted to give a little taste test as far as what we want to do as far as these questions go. So I have a couple here. I actually have not read them myself.
Okay, so you guys getting live reactions?
Yeah,
here?
I had someone else prepare them for me. So let's go ahead and run through them. We'll do rapid fire style. Okay. So let's unlike what we would usually do, where we take a lot of time, because we want to keep this intro episode a little bit shorter, so you guys can jump into the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, let's do it. Ready? Let's do rapid. I'll ask the first question.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, what's one story that hit differently once you became a father?
Immediately, what comes to mind, because I actually put my book club through this, and they hated me during that time. All of them are fathers. I was about to become a father. Max was not born yet. And there's a book called The Boy That Was Raised Like a Dog, by Dr. Bruce Perry. Mm-hmm. He is a social worker, psychiatrist, that has lived a crazy life. He was on site during the Waco incident and worked with the children there, has worked with multiple children that were deprived of love, attention, all of the above. But anyway, he doesn't go all of his cases, but he has specific cases that he goes through during the book. So it's a real, all true stories. He ended up having another book shortly after with Oprah, and Oprah.
This guy.
It came out as Oprah's book, but it's called What Happened to You. But he was at the starting point of showing people that those formative years really matter.
Yeah.
As babies, moving forward. So
that makes sense.
The stories that are in that book are heartbreaking, and as someone who hadn't experienced fatherhood yet, mm-hmm. As someone who has always been an empath, very aware of other people's emotions, a people pleaser, if you will, and aware of how others feel. I've always used that in acting and loved using that to prepare. So hearing that, I'm like, oh, there's so much emotion here.
Yeah.
But then becoming a father, reading that book is a lot harder.
Yeah, because it becomes visceral.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many things now that like I watch or I hear a song. One of the first work trips that Cristiano and I took together, we were playing random songs. We were just going through playlists, and Tarzan, Phil Collins, "You'll Be in My Heart" hit, and he's like, "It's gonna feel different as soon as you're dad." And sure enough, I mean, that song already makes you cry. If you think about family, your own parent or someone who has acted as a parent in your life or anything, but then to go through what you've gone through as a parent and hearing those words.
Yeah. In like anime terms, it's like your time skip arc. You know, like they mm-hmm. have the childhood and the other time skip, and then the adult arc is always much more impactful, right? And this is what that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a comparable book. It's not so much real life, because you know me, I love a good fantasy and tying it into real life. I told you about this book, I think, Jack the Bodiless by Julia May.
Yeah, it's on my to read list.
It is. So this is a book that I read before I was a dad, and then after I had kids, I reread, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally see why this popped in my head to reread. And I'll be super brief. Like, so Jack the Bodiless takes place in, let's say, I don't know how much further into the future, but hundreds of years into the future, where humans have opened up the capacity of their mind so much so that they can read each other's thoughts. They have metaphysical powers to, basically. Technology's gotten to the point to where it can like make you younger, whatever you want to do, etc. They still deal with the everyday stuff that we deal with today, though, in terms of like, political stuff and people being murdered, etc. There's a family. I won't get into that. Once again, we'll have an episode on Jack the Bodiless after you read it. But basically, there's a lady who gets pregnant. The story follows a boy and then his family. His mom gets pregnant with the baby. Mind you, the boy is known because he has great metaphysical. He was just like his dad. He was born to have amazing metaphysical power. He's like super smart, and then he's strong metaphysically, right? The brother, Jack, is so much so that while she was pregnant, she started to hear him talk to her. And so you meet Jack while he's still in the womb. And the part that really stood out to me in the book was when he was being born, you read it from the perspective of the mother and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if the author meant it to be that intense, but when I first read it, that shit kind of seemed intense for a fantasy book. So there was stuff I never thought about, like the pain it feels like to be going through a birthing canal. And like, you know what I mean? Like, so anyways, I won't bore you with it, but basically that book stood out to me after I was a dad, because when my kids all entered the world theatrically, that's how the doctor explained it. Unplanned C-sections. Nia was super adamant about getting, not going through natural birth. So much so that when she was pregnant with Nuri, she's like, I want to do it at home. I want a midwife. And we did all this. And then when it was time, she's like, fuck that. Take me to the hospital. Yeah. Went to the hospital. Still trying to do natural birth, you know. She gets super far along. Like, she's very, very far along in terms of dilation. She was in labor. This is the whole next day. So she's in labor for a long time. And then they kept giving her some kind of medicines for the pain, but they gave her too much overnight. So her heart rate dropped, and then the baby's heart rate dropped.
Oh no!
And so they realized there's like, oh man, we can't get them up. We can't get the baby awake. We can't get the baby, and it ends up being really dangerous for the baby. So they end up having an emergency C-section. So that was one. And then for my son, something similar happened to where his heart rate dropped as well. And they're like, oh shit, we gotta, it ended up being a huge thing. Everyone's scared because we were scared the first time. First and foremost, you know, kudos. I know sometimes there's like this whole, I joined like a bunch of forums and stuff when she was pregnant. And so there's like a lot of back and forth, and there is no shame in having a C-section, like, no. But there's wildly right,
yeah,
but wildly there actually is
a stigma
of like, oh, you didn't have a natural birth.
Be better, people.
Be better. Like,
I can't stand that.
It's just to be honest, for me, I think it was even more scary. And it was insanely scary. I was scared as fuck, like the first time and the second time. Mm-hmm. The second time because Nia could not calm down. Like, she was because the first time scared her so much that the second time she just, she knew what to expect, she was like insanely scared. She kept asking like the nurse and the doctors to hold her hand. They wouldn't. And so I'm up in there, and then like they finally let me come in. So I'm holding her hand. Her hand starts getting cold because they cut through every layer. Right? It's a very jarring thing. And I remember the whole time being in my head about like, wow, how's the baby? How's Nia doing? Feeling bad that they had to go through that both times. It was just super stressful, insanely stressful. And I'm not saying that this book is that jarring or stressful, but that's the first book that came to mind when I read that question. Because I remember reading it and thinking like, wow, I never thought the thought never crossed my mind about like, wow, the baby is experiencing something, whether it's pain or whatever the case may be as they're being born. And obviously the mom is too, but just the way that it was written, that Julian May wrote it, it was pretty interesting. And obviously this is not like it's not what the whole book is about. Like, no, but
Jack gets older, aspect.
But it's a huge aspect. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a blessing to not remember that.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that's a wonderful experience.
Right.
Right. Going from one operating system to then a reboot and needing to learn to manually breathe and all the above.
Yep. So I think that was that, it's a fun book to read though. It's a good book. And I think that's one that hit differently from like that perspective.
I think that's a good taste of the questions.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's awesome.
That's exactly that's what we kind of want to be able to do is have these questions and have it, provoke and satiate us to thoughts and, other books, whether it be other books, story, life experiences, anything that is forthcoming. We'd love to share with each other, and then also for you guys to listen in.
Absolutely.
And then also for you guys to share in the comments how, like I said, how these books or these stories have affected you or hit for you in this life. So, like I said, we'll do probably about 5 questions is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, on a full episode. We'll try to get through 5 questions.
Try to get through 5.
Yeah.
Episode wise, time wise, what are we trying to shoot for per episode, do you think?
That's tough. I would, in the perfect world, I would love to stay around like that 45 minute to an hour and a half range.
Yeah.
I just know that sometimes, especially with literature, with books, you have to get through so much.
Yeah.
I think that you guys will be in the seat for sometimes 2 hours.
Yeah.
And, we'll try to rein it in. We'll fill it out. As you guys comment and engage more, I think we'll be able to figure out ways to mold it for you guys. Once again, as we said earlier, we really do want this to be something that's for us. How we're, dissect. We're going to do it anyway, but then also we want it to be engaging for the listeners. Yeah. So
we're both big into networking. We've made our lifestyle is based on that.
Yep.
In all the trades we've done. So yeah, we'd love to have that happen. So 45 minutes to an hour to 2 hours to however long it takes. I do wonder,
depending on how lucky you are, you might get a 2 hour
for those audio listeners, because I am not a psycho. I have been told I'm somewhat of a psycho, but my starting point typically is 1.5 on any book.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You listen to shit in double time.
Not all in double time. I promise it's not. That's an exaggeration. But there are books out there that need it.
That's true.
I'll put my foot down right now. Bricked Up Book Club knows this. Lonesome Dove. I hate that book. I hate it. So if we lose you as a listener because I said that, I'm glad.
It's okay.
Because I was lied to by so many people on Book Talk, on on Goodreads, on everything. Everyone said, "Oh, this is the best Western. This is the best book. The character, just whatever it may be."
Yeah.
Nah, bruh. Like, forget that.
Maybe it just wasn't for you, though.
No, it wasn't for anyone. The whole book club, 0 out of 5.
Wow.
0 out of 5.
Wow.
I'm glad what happened.
Well, guys, if you guys rate this book higher than a 0 out of 5, I would love to hear what your rating of it is, and then I'll read it, because if he hated it, I don't know if I'm gonna get through it.
The reason I bring it, it's a thick book. This is like a treasured book by so many. And I'm glad I'm putting my foot down. But the reason I brought it up was because that book, I did go 3 times speed.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did at the end. Because I was like,
you just want to get through it.
We get through this. And if the comments say, well, that's why. No. If it's just like those shows that people are like, it's really good. You can get through the first 5 episodes. Guess what, bro? It's not good.
5 episodes, it's not good.
It's not good. I don't want to hear about a poke and talk about beans forever. Like, that's... Anyway, I'm obviously passionate about this, but I do wonder if I bring this up because I wonder at what speed people can listen to what we talk about.
What we like.
I have heard that my cadence is a little sped up.
Yeah.
So it's harder to do. I'm on that Marco Polo app with friends.
Yeah.
And some people you can do the speed up, which I will tell you, I would definitely speed you guys up. But I've had friends say, oh, when it gets to his Stranton's video, I can't do it because of how I talk.
Yeah.
So short bursts.
That's okay.
It's
all good. But yeah, guys. So this is our first episode. We wanted to give you guys a taste of what you guys can expect from like a story aspect. Learn more about us, our families, kind of our journey into literature, what brought us into wanting to make a podcast like this. Throughout the episodes, we'll get into more. You guys learn more about us. We'll learn more about you, and connected to books as well. Super excited to get into the next couple episodes, next couple of books that we have set up. You want to let them know the next couple of books we're going to break down?
Depending on which episodes we release, we will be looking at S.A. Cosby's Razorblade Tears.
Ooh, it's going to be a good one, guys.
So good.
Yes.
And also on the docket is James Islington's book, The Will of the Many.
Yeah. Two really good books in different ways, though.
Yeah. Oh,
like so different.
But
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So we're super excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So please, guys, subscribe, rate, follow, read along, engage.
You can find us recommend right here where it will appear. Follow us on the Margins Podcast on Instagram.
And website soon to be up. If it's not up by the first episode,
it marginspodcast.com.
Yeah,
where you will be able to find the YouTube page because we don't have the title yet as far as the recording of this episode. But we will. And
by the time you guys see, it will be there.
Go ahead and do that, and then at some point we'll start a book club with this, and we'll do read-alongs and have guests on here.
Yeah.
Already have some people asking to jump on with us.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait. I can't wait till we have like our first guests on. Our first guest, not just like reader, but then also authors. I love to get into like, well, what makes you do write like this or develop a story like that. But anyways, guys, as you can see, we have a lot for you, a lot in store.
Yeah, we're excited to jump into it.
All right, so. With that being said, next episode, stay tuned. We'll read the pages. And
we'll go from there.
Thank you guys for tapping in to the Margins Podcast.
And we will see you next episode.
We'll see you soon.